Mullet Madjack was a wonderful title to play. It's a strange name, but it's a wonderful game, one I highly recommend. It reminds me of something else I played in the past, Post-Void, in a lot of ways. Not in the aesthetics of it, not in the general look. Post-Void had this weird, surreal art style, whereas Mullet Madjack goes for this retro anime look that splatters across this dystopian world, where humans are basically ruled by robo-billionaires, and they always need this massive, massive dose of dopamine at all times, or the human body's basically just stop working and it's lights out in 10-second intervals, which is a big point, because that is one of the main points of the game, which is keeping yourself filled with dopamine so you don't die. Not the only one, because our protagonist is given the task of saving a princess for the entertainment of an audience. And why is he doing this? He's doing this for a brand new pair of shoes. Cool shoes, I guess. Worth dying for? For him, it is. And this title is relatively straightforward. You do basic things. You shoot, you can dash, you can kick, use that to kill robots. But the fact that there's a timer always on the side that you can see, you can look at, and you know if you don't kill something quick or maybe drink a soda, then all that progress is going right down the drain. And this can create some really tense moments. It really makes you kind of think, how am I properly going to go about this? Because yeah, speed is important, but not as important as flow. Not as important as just getting the right way of moving through the environment. And this gets more difficult as the game progresses, because you unlock new ways of taking down enemies, but also new ways of being killed quite easily and quite quickly. Because things might go from a simple acid pit, a simple locked door, maybe an enemy that has a shield, to you're dodging lasers, you're wall running. It's a little dark in here. Some enemies can only be killed in certain ways, and that really keeps the game from getting stale, especially because the end of every level has a boss fight. You'll be using the mechanics you've used before, but sometimes they change things up in a pretty interesting way. And it's one of those games that I can easily panic at. There were plenty of moments where I was like, okay, things are going great, things are going fantastic. And then, oh man, I get hit by something I wasn't expecting, or, I was getting a little carried away, and somehow timing got a little too low. Character's brain wasn't stimulating enough, not enough dopamine. And so I'm like, oh, I got 3 seconds, I gotta shoot something. And somehow I miss, somehow I don't pay attention to something that I dashed by and realized, oh, it came up and slapped the shit out of me. Well, I was almost at the boss fight, almost finished with this level, but I guess I'm starting over. This is one of those games I feel like people who love speedrunning, who love to give themselves a nice challenge, are really going to enjoy. It even has a speedrunning mode. It has multiple different modes you can play through, multiple difficulties made to satisfy the brain waves of a particular type of player. And even the little story they have going throughout the whole game, these little nice little scenes, these animated cutscenes and such, aren't bad. It's actually pretty cool. And when I was reading through their little manual thing they have for the game, because there's an achievement for unboxing this little game case within there and tells you about all the weapons and different little aspects of the game. I was concerned about the weapon variety, but then when I really got further into the game and playing it, it's not really that bad. How many weapons are there again? Probably like 6, 7, but they each have their own levels of upgradability, like 3 levels or so. And it adds enough to where that didn't really end up being an issue. It was something that I was like, okay, I was making a big deal about nothing in my head. This is perfectly fine. And half the time, I largely either stuck with the pistol or the assault rifle when I got it, or maybe a katana every once in a while. Especially as I got some more permanent upgrades that allowed me to keep weapons and abilities and skills and stuff past the point of death. And that's something that kind of put me in this place where I was like, okay, I got everything I need. And not about skills, there's a few little skills you got here and there. Some slow down time, some make it so enemies don't hit you as much. Maybe they'll miss a shot, maybe they won't want to touch you, because this is one that's like, oh, you're just so manly. Your manly vigor and smell keeps the enemies from wanting to put their grubby robotic fingers on you. A one that makes your bullets explode, or more likely to explode really. Makes your magazines bigger. Maybe certain things for environmental kills help you a little bit more. Maybe they freeze an enemy. And environmental kills, something I need to talk about. The traps and all the things that can negatively impact you can also hurt your enemies. And you're going to want to use these because these might get you some extra points, especially depending on what type of little upgrades or skills you decide to pick up. There's a lot of ways to make your run go away that you want it to go. Heck, there's even upgrades for where your weapons get unlimited ammo. Just pure unlimited ammo. You don't have to worry about reloading, because that's something that has gotten me caught up a few times, especially depending on on what weapon it is, because weapons have different amounts of damage, attack speed, accuracy, and such that really change up your playstyle. I got into this mindset a few times where I was going through a lot of runs with one weapon, and then I end up dying, having to go through things again, and I was like, okay, I've adjusted so far to this moment to using that one particular weapon, and now I'm in this state to where it feels like, oh, going from using a katana to actually having to shoot something, it was like, oh, this is an alien experience, and that run would be over quick. Because it was just unrecoverable. I was like, okay, we just gotta start this over. I died, got absolutely mollywomped by something that I could have taken out easily. So let's try that again. And I would say, depending on what difficulty you decide to play this game on, and just your general level of skill and ability in terms of, well, FPS games, you can make it all the way through, like, on challenge mode, which is the recommended mode for the game. It literally says that that's what the developers want you to play. You can make it through in, like, a few hours. But that's not really something that should disappoint anybody, because this game has an endless mode. It has other modes you can unlock. There's multiple challenge levels, like I've already said. So there's a lot of replayability in this game. There's other stuff to unlock. And if you're a competitive individual who wants to get a high score, there are leaderboards. If you want to be as effective as you want to be, if you're a person who wants to speed run, trying to get the best time, because after every completed floor, there's a timer showing how fast you did it. Did you do it in 30 seconds? Did you do it in a minute? The longest time it's ever taken me to get through something was probably a minute, but that's because, well, it was very difficult, especially when you first starting on like a whole new area and there's new challenges to face. But the game does a pretty good job of showing you, because after you beat a boss, they'll show you the new mechanics, and there won't really be any enemies around to stop you. You'll just be able to learn and see how everything's meant to be done. So while the game is difficult, it does a good job of easing you in and giving you everything you need to just play it well. And heck, if you play on one of the modes, which is, I guess you consider it easier mode, but it's a no timer mode. And this is the one I saw that had the speed running clock on it, like right on the side. It may have been other places, and I might have just not seen it, because I was just like, oh, I just need to get into the game and play, because I was enjoying it so much. But the lack of a timer does not make it any easier, because the enemies can still kill you, of course. So you'll likely have a fun time no matter what mode you decide to play on. Heck, there are even little weapons like daggers, a manga. It's the character's favorite manga. You can use that to kill somebody, and these little quick little finisher moves or one-hit kill moves that they are. And that's something I meant to say early on in this video, but I didn't bring it up, was that little kill move. It could be very useful. I like to save it for when my timer's getting really low and I just need a few extra seconds. It's a nice little mechanic that kind of lets you readjust for a second, because you got to go through a little animation. It doesn't take that long, but long enough for you to catch a quick breather before you get back to the action. And I'm glad I picked up this game. I had been seeing it around Steam for a while. I was like, it looks good enough. It looks fine. But I was playing other things. And I was like, should I really buy it? Should I play it? And I was like, finally sitting down thinking, you know what? I haven't played FPS in a while. I was like, I picked this up, and that was a great decision, worth every cent. And yeah, I think that's all for this video. I just really enjoyed the game, finished playing it not too long ago. Probably gonna play some more of it after this video. And yeah, I just want to talk about it. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble on for however long this is. If you did, you can like, you can subscribe, you can dislike, you can not subscribe. If you're subscribed, you can unsubscribe. Do whatever you wish, is up to you. Peace. I'm out.